Hello again, everyone. Edwin Lerner back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Uranus in conjunct the South Node in the natal chart. And some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in the natal chart. They're a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy, so what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is you have Uranus in conjunct the South Node in the natal chart. An adjustment, which is the inconjunct, may be needed between activities associated with goals and aspirations, which is Uranus, and the things you are naturally proficient in, which is the South Node. One or the other may be overemphasized. The key is to find balance and equilibrium between the two. So what can happen is that you may be so dominated by matters and activities connected with your goals and aspirations to the expense of doing the things you're naturally proficient in, which is the South Node, or it could be the other way around. You may things that you're naturally proficient in, activities associated with that, may monopolize your time and energy to the expense of your goals and aspirations and objectives, which is Uranus. And so again, it's about finding the balance, the harmony, the equilibrium of the energy. When you have inconjunct aspects in astrology, there could be a lot of vacillation and distortion of energy. So it's about finding the balance and the harmony. So let's say, for example, if you have, the South Node in Virgo and the things you're naturally proficient in, can be connected with, analysis, diagnosing things that are analytical skills. It might be organization, compartmentalizing, matters with health and fitness, cleaning, sanitation, as some examples. Now, another thing about Uranus in conjunct the South Node in the natal chart, it can also be expressed in an imbalance, which is the inconjunct between activities associated with friends, which is Uranus, and those prominent in your past, which is the South Node. You may be dominated by one or the other. So it could either be where friends may monopolize your time and energy to the expense of those that played an integral role in your past, or it could be the other way around, those that played an integral role in your past, which is the South Node. It could be that they may dominate and monopolize your time and energy to the expense of matters with your friends. So again, it's about finding the balance, the harmony, the equilibrium with that energy. Now, let's say if Uranus is in Capricorn, as an example, one or more of those friends may actually be a Capricorn sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be people that are very structured, disciplined, serious. They may be older, responsible, ambitious, have good powers of concentration, but at the same time may be depressive or negative or pessimistic, even cold as well. Now, another thing about Uranus in conjunct the South Node in the natal chart, it may also manifest in too much or too little inspiration, which is Uranus, for activities, with what you're naturally either proficient in or have that really good ability for, which is the South Node. So at times you can have an exorbitant amount of inspiration for doing the things you have that natural ability for. Then other times, there may be like no motivation, no inspiration whatsoever, and you may be more apathetic regarding those things. So, let's say if the South Node is in Aquarius, as an example, those things you have, natural ability for, maybe tied in with humanitarian, altruistic endeavors. It could be astrology, astronomy, computers, electronics, innovation, meteorology, aviation, rocket science, as some examples. It could even be, model rockets as a hobby, as as some examples. But also to friends and those prominent in groups, clubs, and organizations, which is Uranus, may either be very advantageous or detrimental in the expression of those natural built-in abilities, which is the South Node. So, again, you could have a lot of vacillation and fluctuation with this energy. It could be where, your friends and those that are prominent groups, clubs, and organizations may either be very helpful in that expression of the natural built-in abilities, or they could either be apathetic, or they could be taking you away from that expression, where it could be to the detriment of the expression of those natural built-in abilities. So it could go, you're talking about a lot of extreme energy either way with this aspect. And let's say if the South Node is in Aries, as an example, those natural built-in abilities may be tied in with leadership prowess. It could be doing things that are pioneering or innovative. It may be, doing something, connected with an Aries-related field, whether it would be carpentry or welding, or something associated with the military or arson investigation, law enforcement, speech pathology, physiology. It could be a field that involves, like a profession with the head, such as, designing helmets or headwear in general. Now, also, too, there may either be tremendous ease or difficulty leaving behind, which is the South Node, rebellious, non-conforming, idiosyncratic, and bizarre qualities, which is Uranus. Now, if Uranus is in Libra, as an example, those bizarre qualities, maybe it's tied in, just trying to balance things, being too exact, with balancing things in general. Uranus and Aquarius may really reinforce, some kind of, idiosyncratic or bizarre, kind of qualities. Maybe they're expressed more with friends, as an example, or through social media. It can be, it also, too, another way this aspect may be expressed in the natal chart is that at times you may strongly emphasize selflessness and altruism, which is Uranus, with those that played an integral role in your past, which is the South Node. Then other times you just simply not express those qualities toward them at all. So again, it's a lot of vacillation with this energy. There may be times when you just express a tremendous amount of selflessness and altruism toward those people that were prominent in your past, and other times you just may be oblivious to them and not express those qualities at all. Now, if Uranus is in Pisces, as an example, it may be flavored more, the selflessness and altruism with more compassion, more sacrifice. It could be doing things, Pisces related, whether it's something associated with boating, or maybe even rescuing, or more healing, something that could be connected with Pisces, even doing things with spirituality or the metaphysical, which includes astrology. Also, too, another way Uranus in conjunct the South Node may manifest in the natal chart is that there may be times where you have that exorbitant amount of freedom and independence, which is Uranus, in that first half of life. And other times you may not have had any whatsoever. So it's really about, again, a lot of the vacillation, a lot of the fluctuation with that energy. Now, let's say, if Uranus is in Sagittarius, as an example, freedom and independence may be strongly tied in with publishing, advertising, printing press operation. It could be foreign travel, simply expanding horizons. Uranus and Scorpio may emphasize freedom and independence in matters with support or shared resources situation, being able, matters with transformation, empowering others, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Leonard saying, stay well.